Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today, we will talk about a court case which would help enforce First Amendment rights as we know it and would influence future cases. My team and I thank you for joining in on this video and hope you enjoy. With that, let's jump in. Let's set the scene. It's fall of 1969. An upcoming American long-distance runner had just enrolled at the University of Oregon. His name, Steve Prefontaine. Prefontaine would become one of University of Oregon's most cherished and successful athletes. In his college years, Prefontaine would win 7 NCAA titles, 15 American records, and would represent the U.S. at the 1972 Summer Olympics. While he was a great success story of American college athlete at the time, behind the scenes, the Vietnam War was unraveling. Many protesters came together to show their disapproval of the U.S. joining the Vietnam War, with many wanting the U.S. to withdraw. These protests occurred everywhere in the U.S., especially in colleges, with young adults wanting to participate in creating change in their society and government. 4 years before Prefontaine enrolled in the University of Oregon and made history, the case of Tinker versus Des Moines took place, shaping freedom of speech as we know it. It's December 1965, and students enrolled in Des Moines Independent School District were angered by the U.S. joining the Vietnam War. These students, which included Mary Beth Tinker and John Tinker, were very outraged and decided that they should show their disapproval in every way they could. So, they decided to wear black armbands to school, which symbolized that they were against the Vietnam War. The school at Des Moines noticed this, and the principal warned the students if they continued to wear the armband, they would face suspension. Despite this warning, the students continued, resulting in a suspension. Parents of the students were angered by the unjust suspension and sued, claiming that their kids' First Amendment rights of freedom of expression and speech were violated. First, the parents sued in district court. Here, the Southern District of Iowa ruled in favor of Des Moines Independent School District. The district court did say that the students were entitled to their First Amendment right of freedom of expression and speech. However, the school had the right to maintain order and prevent any possible distractions which could harm the education of other students. The parents and the students were very unhappy with the result from the district court. Because of this, they would try to appeal the ruling in the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals. When they did so, the appeals court judges were evenly split, resulting in a tie. Because appeals court could not reach a majority decision, this meant that the district court ruling remained in place. Technically, this meant that the school district won again, and if students wanted to overturn or change the ruling, they would have to take it to the Supreme Court, which we know they would do. The students would take a case to Supreme Court, which would be accepted by at least 4 justices under the Rule of 4. The Rule of 4 is basically where a minimum of 4 Supreme Court justices must agree to take a case for them to actually take it. In the Supreme Court, they ruled 7-2 in favor of the Tinker students. The court decided that under the First Amendment of freedom of speech and expression, the students' black armbands protesting Vietnam were allowed. They said that the school could not censor or punish the students for free speech and that this peaceful protest harmed or disturbed nobody. Reenactment time. Students face suspension by principal due to black armband. No, Vietnam War, no. Anti-Vietnam War, no, we want peace. We do not want war, we want peace and love. The principal suspends the students. You don't want to take off those black armbands, you're all suspended. Parents sue in district court and lose to Des Moines District. The judge of Iowa's district court rules in favor of the Des Moines Independent School. Parents file for appeals court which ends in a tie. We, the 8th Circuit of Appeals Court, rule in a tie. Parents files the case to the Supreme Court and win! We, the Supreme Court, rule in favor of Tinker under the First Amendment right of freedom of speech. The case of Tinker versus Des Moines was decided in the way that it was because the Supreme Court found that the school's ban/suspension of the students were unconstitutional, as the students were simply just exercising their First Amendment right of freedom of speech and expression. The students were not disrupting anybody, and it was a peaceful protest, which once again is protected under their First Amendment rights. Thank you everyone for watching my channel, and directed and produced by Mia. All copyright claims go to Mia.